What proceeded? The former king of Denmark, Hamlet's father, died mysteriously a few months ago. Hamlet, Horatio, and two guards are alarmed about the appearance of a ghost, who would have many similarities with the king. The king's brother, Claudius, followed the throne and married Queen Gertrude, Hamlet's mother. Hamlet asked Claudius to be allowed to study abroad, but he disallowed the request. Large's may study abroad, in Paris. Large's sister Ophelia and father Polonius come to say goodbye. Ophelia tells Larges about Hamlet's deep feelings for her. Later, when it's night again, the guard is held by Hamlet, Horatio, and the two guards from the night before. The ghost appears again and gestures Hamlet to go with him, so they can talk together.
Scene 5. Hamlet meets his father's ghost. Hamlet has gone as far as his grace will take him and says, "Where are you taking me? Speak, I will go not further." The ghost wants that Hamlet listen to him. He tells Hamlet he is the ghost of his father, and must soon as return to the prison of perpetuity and its flames. Finally, he gives Hamlet a command. He says, "If you ever loved your poor dear father, revenge his foul and most unnatural murder." Hamlet promises that he will revenge right away, faster than a person fall in love. Thus the ghost promises Hamlet a burden of shame and guilt if he does not revenge him. The ghost delivers the news. Claudius, no king, killed Hamlet's father. Hamlet says, "I knew it, my uncle." Finally, the ghost gives the details of the murder while the father taking a nap in his orchard. Claudius poured poison in his ear, that poison that moves like quicksilver through the veins and curdles the blood. So the father of Hamlet had his life, his crown, and his queen stolen from him all at once. Hamlet is supposed to hate the fact that his mother is having sex with King Claudius, and he is supposed to kill the king to put a stop to it, but he is not supposed to do a thing to his mother or even think bad about her. The ghost leaves and saying, "Adieu, adieu, remember me," and Hamlet swears to remember. And Horatio and Marcellus. We hear Horatio worried, "Please let him be all right," and Marcellus calling to Hamlet. When the two of them get within speaking distance of Hamlet, they ask what's up, and Hamlet makes him promise to keep what he tells them a secret. He's saying any villain in Denmark is going to be, well, a villain. Horatio saying, "You don't need a ghost returning from the grave to tell you that, sir." Then after some more rigmarole from Hamlet, Horatio says, "You are talking such a crazy way, sir." Horatio seems to be right. Hamlet later tells Horatio the ghost message and says, "Don't even tell anyone what you've seen tonight." They agree. Hamlet says, "Swear by my sword." Marcellus protests they have already sworn. But Hamlet says, "Yes, but swear by my sword this time." At that moment, the ghost comes to Hamlet's aid, calling it from under the stage. "Swear!" They swear, but there's no such stage direction in any of the original text. After all of this, he again asks the men to keep his secret and invites them to go with him back down into the castle, but says, "No talking about this. There's no much out of work in this time. And damn the fact that I'm supposed to fix it."
Polonius is in a conversation with his servant Rinaldo. He wants to send him to France to check up on and spy on Lartes. Polonius wants to know something about Danish people in Paris, who they are, where they live, how much money they have, who their friends are. He also wants Rinaldo to ask those people about Lartes. "Make up any stories that sound like your average young guy, the kind of trouble they get into," said Polonius. "Why should they do this, Rinaldo? You want to know? Well, as you talk with someone and hint about my son's faults and little sins, you'll watch their reaction, and if they ever seen Larges do anything of these things, it will be natural for them to agree with you. You get my point, don't you?" Rinaldo does get the point. Polonius wished him a safe trip. After Rinaldo left, Ophelia came in. She looks a bit scared. Polonius asks Ophelia what wrong is. Ophelia starts to tell about what happened. Father, I was up in my room, sewing. Hamlet came in with no hat on his head, his shirt unbuttoned and his stockings dirty undone and down around his ankles. He was pale and as his undershirt, and his knees were knocking together. He looked so out of sorts, as if he'd just come back from hell. He came up to me.
Is he crazy with love for you?
I'm not sure, but I'm afraid he might be.
What did he say?
He grabbed me by my wrist and held my heart, then backed away an arm's length and just looked at me, staring at me like an artist about the paint of my picture. He stayed like that a long time. Finally, after shaking my arm a little and jerking his head up and down 3 times, he sighed like it was his last breath. After that he let me go. He left the room, with his head turned back on me, finding his way out without looking, since his eyes were on me the whole time. Polonius took his daughter. He's gonna tell the king about what happened. They got to discuss this matter, which could cause more trouble if they keep it secret than if they discuss it openly, is what Polonius said.
The end.